He said, my son just got shot. And I said, okay. I called 911 immediately.
A 9-year-old shot and killed. Police say the result of two kids playing with a gun. Police know who the gun belongs to. They believe it wasn't secured properly, but aren't sure exactly how the kids got it.
So the shooting happened last night at the Flats Apartments. That's near 71st and Michigan on the city's north side. We have team coverage tonight.
And 24 News 8's Eric Feldman back at the apartments with a look at how police are hoping to make sure something like this never happens again. But first, 24-hour News 8's Elizabeth Choi is live tonight from IMPD headquarters. And Elizabeth, has anyone been arrested?
Phil, no arrest made at this time. We know that the shooter is a child, but as far as the gun owner is concerned, police say that's a 27-year-old male. They say he's related to one of the children involved. They say that it's still under investigation whether or not he did anything wrong, whether or not he did anything criminal as far as how he stored that gun. They say that prosecutors could charge him depending on the outcome of that investigation. But what we do know right now, there's a huge hole left in that boy's community. Instead of kids playing, the sounds of laughter, there's a deafening silence in the Flats community, a silence that's a stark contrast from the night before.
Crying, top of his lungs, and he trying to do CPR, and I didn't want to just be like, I think he might be gone.
This witness didn't want to be identified, but tells us he was standing outside when he saw a father cradling his 9-year-old son in his arms like a baby. The boy was bloody and lifeless.
He was running with him, and then he just fell and went to his knees, and that's when I realized something was going on.
According to police, Micah Jackson and a friend were playing. They somehow got their hands on a gun. Micah was shot in the face. The witness called 911 and then knocked on his aunt's door for help.
I looked and I seen the father holding his son. And my nephew was on the phone with 911, but they put him on hold, so I figured I could get there quicker than they can, so I drove him to the hospital.
If there's one thing Rachel Gray remembers about the quick drive to the hospital, it's the father's desperate pleas to his son.
But he was telling his son to hold on, breathe, so he was talking to his son to just tell him to stay focused, keep his eyes open, and breathe. That's the only thing I remembered. I didn't remember nothing else. I was just trying to get him to the hospital.
But it was too late. Micah died upon arriving at the hospital.
You did a wonderful job. You sure did.
Within hours of his death, Rachel, joined by neighbors who knew Micah, started a makeshift memorial. Rest in heaven written across a poster board, a few stuffed animals and candles burning, a reminder of the tragic reality they'd rather not be reminded of.
Seeing the baby with the bullet and the blood running down his face. And he was stiff, so yeah. So the image is still in my head, so I haven't been asleep.
Prosecutors have not charged anybody in connection with this shooting. However, it's still very early on. Police are still trying to collect evidence, talk to witnesses, and find out exactly what happened and why. Of course, we'll continue to follow this story and bring you any new developments as they're made available to us. For now, live downtown, Elizabeth Choi, 24-hour News 8.